Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today, this is designed to be a little internal video on how to add your very own Pokemon models and also to upgrade the Pokebedrock resource pack on your very own uh, beta testing add-on. So, if you don't already know, beta testing for the Pokebedrock pack has been opened up again. I know I've said that like many times on this channel. We have opened it up again, and it's actually really neat this time because this new system we have created allows us to generate public packs instantly. Before, I had to do like a lot of maneuvering and kind of like updating the systems, like copy and pasting like what I've created onto the server. It was very, very time consuming and it was just very annoying. So I've actually gone through and created a brand new system that allows me to deliver these public packs insanely fast. So as you already know, as you might know, there's already been 2 public pack releases so far at the time of the creation of this video. Actually, sorry, three public pack releases. My bad. At the creation of this video, and actually, I'm going to be showing you guys how to modify the resource pack of the server to be able to, for example, update these models and add your own Pokemon into the server. So let's get started on how to do it. First off, you're going to need a computer, I would say. You might be able to do this on your phone, but I would recommend doing this on a computer. And what you're going to do is you're going to want to head to the GitHub Smelly Curry Pokebedrock-res. And the link will be in the description for this. And what you're going to want to do is once you're here is you're going to want to head to this fork icon. And you're going to want to fork the repository of Pokebedrock. Forking this repository basically copies this and adds it to your own GitHub account. And I'm not going to fork it in this video because I already have it, but you will need to fork it if you want to submit pull requests to the repository like we see here. So basically at the end of this video, you will know how to submit your own pull request like Magnemite, like Mewtwo updates, and other stuff that allows you to implement changes to the Pokebedrock-res that will then go into review by me or other developers so we can merge this into the resource pack and add your model to the official servers. So basically, what we're going to have to do in this video is you're going to have to fork the resource pack. And once you have forked the resource pack, we can get ready to go. So there's little prerequisites you're going to need to do this. First off, you're going to need a GitHub account, which make sure you have, and then you're going to need GitHub Desktop. So you're going to want to go to GitHub Desktop, and you're going to want to download GitHub Desktop. I already have it actually, so we're going to hop right over to GitHub Desktop, and I'm going to show you what to see. Okay, so here I am over into the GitHub Desktop for just my local stuff. So I have a lot of different packs I'm working on or whatever repositories. And basically what we're going to have to do is we're going to need to clone your new forked repository. And basically how you're going to do that is you're going to go right here, you're going to clone repository, and then you're going to click. You're not going to see the screen when you actually go on GitHub Desktop. First time you're going to need to sign into GitHub. And then once you do that, you're going to search up Pokebedrock-res. And you should find one where it's your username and then Pokebedrock-res. And you're going to click that and you're going to clone the repository. Now, you got to be particular where you clone this repository, as you're going to want to clone this over to your local resource packs. So, okay. So you're going to press choose folder and you're going to copy the path from the description of this video. Basically, it looks like this. It's your local app data, and then it's going to be inside your packages, Minecraft Mojang, blah, 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 and you're inside your development resource packs. So we're copying this resource pack folder over to this path to allow us to replace the resource pack that Minecraft currently displays for Pokebedrock. So you're going to copy that over, and you're going to click select folder, and you're going to click clone. I already have a clone, so we're not going to do that. But it should look like this, and if you actually do not see this actually popping up, you're going to want to copy and paste the URL of your pack. So you just go here, copy and paste the URL, and you'll click here, and then you'll choose the same path that I just showed you. Okay, and that for sure will be able to copy it over. Okay, so once you have it copied over, you should see something like this, almost exactly like this. And now we can go forward to integrating your pack. But we probably want to make sure the changes you are making are actually showing up inside the actual game. So now you're going to need VSCode or some other IDE like Cursor. So make sure you have Visual Studio Code installed, and you're just going to go to the download link. I'll also have this in the description. So you're just going to download VSCode, and that is going to allow you to edit the resource pack and allow you to make modifications to it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to hop over into the resource pack, and how we're going to do that is we're going to go to that same path we actually copied. Oh, not the right one. You're going to go to that same path you have. I already have shortcuts to it, but you're going to go inside of it and you're going to open it up with VS Code. And why we are doing this is so, again, we can create modifications. And I'm already in here. I didn't mean to do that, but inside the pack, you should see something like this, and you're going to want to go to the text/enus. We could change anything in this pack to make the modification, but I think one of the most simplest is just changing something like, okay, pokebedrock testing. And now when we save this, we should be able to see inside Minecraft our modification instantly pop up. So I'm going to actually exit the world I'm in. And what you guys are going to be doing is make sure you have a new world created with the behavior pack. So that's the testing add-on. And so you should see the public beta 4.1.1. You can use any public beta. It should work. And then you're going to go to your resource packs. And as you can see, instantly it worked for me. I was able to see that testing thing I added to it. So then you know, once you see that, so it should be in your available packs, should be somewhere there. Once you see that, you know you're good to go. As you can see, this testing has changed. Then I'm going to go and I'm going to revert that change because I don't actually want to change that. But that's going to be the change to confirm that your pack is working and actually going to display updates inside Minecraft. Okay, so now we are going to move on to the next part of the tutorial, which is going to be adding a new Pokemon model. Okay. Okay, so again, you're going to need a little bit of prerequisites. And this is going to include the Blockbench Studios. So you're going to need to download Blockbench, which would be just right here. Also, the link will be in the description, like always. And you're actually going to need Node.js installed, which is actually an interesting installation. But you're going to go down here, Windows Installer, or if you're on Mac, whatever it is, it should be able to instantly install Node into your computer. This might take a little bit to install. I don't know for sure, but we're going to need Node because we're actually going to want to run a generator file that's going to allow you to ensure your add-on or your Pokemon you've added works correctly. So make sure you have GitHub Desktop, you have Node installed, you have Blockbench installed, and you have the model in which you're looking to add in your downloads. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is I'm going to show you the resource pack, and I'm actually going to go and find a model which I want to add to the pack. So I'm going to go into the Pokebedrock Discord and actually just find some model. Bear with me. Okay, let's add this one right here. I don't even know what it is. We're going to check it out. Coriander. Okay, so we're going to load it up, and boom. So here's a new model that we are waiting to add to the add-on. Very cool, actually. Let's check it out. So I'm going to check out the idle. Wow, actually, this model is really nice. So we're going to check this out, and as you can see, they added a little shaking, really nice, really clean, making sure all of the animations are here. So I'm going to look through this, make sure they all look good. You know, I would obviously do a better job looking through this if I wasn't recording, but you would look through this, make sure everything looks very, very cool. You would report any issues to the modeler, or if the modeler is yourself, fix the issues. And then we are good to integrate the Pokemon into the actual resource pack. So the first step is make sure you're on this kind of screen. What we're going to do is we're actually going to hit the file up here, the export, and then export bedrock geometry. This is going to take you probably to some weird state. You're going to want to go back to that resource pack folder you actually originally cloned. And now that we are in this resource pack folder, we are going to add this new file into the Pokemon add-on. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the models directory, entity, and then Pokemon. And this is where all of the Pokemon models are stored for Pokebedrock. And I'm going to hit right here and I click save. And boom, that just saved this new Pokemon into the add-on. If you're replacing an original model, then it's actually going to say, hey, are you sure you want to replace this model, blah, blah, blah. And make sure when you're saving, you confirm that this model identifier is correct. That you want to make sure this is actually the right name inside of Minecraft. Or it should just be simple, the Pokemon name. But yeah, just make sure there's no like ones next to it or something like that that could break the actual installation. Okay, so once you have the model inside the add-on, then you're going to want to copy the textures over. So you're going to go back to that resource pack you cloned. You're going to go into textures, entity, Pokemon. And since this is a new model, I'm actually going to have to create a new folder for it. And I'm just going to copy the name of the Pokemon. I'm going to replace it right here. And I'm going to open it up. And I'm going to press save. And then for the same one, it should bring you back to the same folder. And I'm going to press save again. So that just saved the default texture and the shiny texture into the folder for the Corodon. I don't know if I pronounced that right. That's going to save that straight into the folders. And if you have to replace an existing model, all you're going to do is you're going to go into the same folders, and you're going to go and find the folder in which that Pokemon is stored. So let's say we're replacing Lugia, and actually that should not be in there. But you're going to replace these files inside these folders, which is simple enough. And same with the behavior pack. Okay, so once you have replaced textures and added the new model, then you're going to want to export the animations, which is another simple task. You're going to go here, export animations, confirm, and then you're going to go into the pokebedrock-res, animations, Pokemon. Once you're inside this folder, you just click save. And boom, you have integrated this new model into the resource pack. And if we go actually inside of our GitHub, we can see the changes have actually exactly what we want to happen. So we have this new animation, we have this new model, and we have these new textures. But we're not done. So that is pretty much the big part which we're going to be doing. And the next part is going to be able to integrate this model better. Okay. So now that we have this integrated, we're going to want to do something in the terminal. So you're going to need to open up a terminal, which is just terminal, new terminal. And you can open up a terminal, and we're going to just do npm i. npm i is just npm install, which means we're going to install all of the package.json stuff. You don't need to worry about how this works. Just run the command. We're going to install npm i. And now we have to ask ourselves, is this Pokemon we're adding, does it require gender differences, animated textures, particle effects, or has a special skin? The Pokemon I'm adding, I don't think it requires this, but I'm going to show you like it would. And what you're going to do is you're going to go into the scripts, data, and then the customizations folder. And inside this folder, we can see a huge assortment of all of the Pokemon that have special customizations apart from their normal stuff. As you can see, Spinda has special skins, Golbat has gender differences, Vileplume gender differences, Mewtwo Mega X has skins. All these special things that require differences or different effects to be displayed on the Pokemon. So for our Pokemon, we don't have this, but let's say it did. I'm just going to copy, I'm going to go to the generation. So I'm going to go to the generation we're looking to affect. So I'm just going to search up let's say 6. I don't know what generation this is, but we're just going to copy something from the previous generation, and we're going to replace it with the name of the Pokemon I'm adding. So that's Coryodon. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to replace it. Then I'm going to describe, okay, what changes inside this. Okay, has special skin, and tail is different on female. Okay, let's just say something like that. Obviously, I'm not going to commit this because this is not true. But let's say the model and the texture are different for Coryodon when it is a female skin. So actually, you're going to have to do a bit more steps when you actually have different models and textures. You're going to want to export them. The modeler should give you a male Coryodon and a female Coryodon instead of just a simple Coryodon. And with that, you're going to want to export both of those as the different files, and then you're going to be able to export and use them as different models. And same goes with the textures. It should be male underscore Pokemon, and then female underscore Pokemon, and then shiny underscore male underscore Pokemon. And the modeler should deal with that. It should be all simple as. But you're going to have the gender differences, and then you're going to also have a skins texture, which you can add custom skins like Christmas, which, again, you're going to need a custom skin model and then the custom textures for that model, which should be pretty simple. So once you have that, you're going to want to then move on to the next part, which everybody's going to have to do if you're adding a new model. You're going to go back into your terminal, and you're going to want to run npm run generate Pokemon files. Now make sure it's typed exactly like this. So generate Pokemon files. And then you're going to run that. Basically what this is going to do is it's going to edit and modify the files in which you're changing. So as you can see, it's going to run a lot of errors because we have a lot of stuff to do. But just ignore them for right now. And we're going to go inside of this missing info file, and we're going to search our Pokemon we have edited. So this is this one. And we're going to search to see if there's any errors. And oh, okay, we got no results. Sometimes you're going to get animation errors, but just ignore that. They're kind of useless. We have a lot of work to add these new behavior systems in. But good, we don't have to worry about that. So that means the Pokemon generated perfectly. And if we refetch the origin, we should see some changes here. Yep, exactly. So we can now see, oh wait, hold on. That's not, we didn't see our entity changes, which means something didn't run correctly. Or that means this Pokemon already had a model, which it did not. But, so we're going to search up Coriandon. Sorry, why do I keep saying that wrong? In the entity folder. And inside here, we're going to try to find what the issue is. So, okay. Entity. All right. So here is our Pokemon. Yeah, so we can see it did not generate correctly. And this is why it didn't generate correctly, because we didn't commit our changes to the Pokemon file. So inside of here, you need to go in and add your Pokemon that you're adding to the bottom of this list. So I'm going to add in my Coriandon, and then I'm going to rerun that generate Pokemon files. And what that's going to do is it's going to add this Pokemon to a list of Pokemon that have models. Okay, and it should generate that for us. And then we probably should see missing info get updated with, yep, okay, there you go. So now we see the errors. Okay, so there you go. So now it has a missing flying and AR idle. And now we see, yeah, so again, you can ignore these. These are just behavioral issues, which we are working on an update for that. But you can ignore that. And then we should see inside of here, if it refreshes, we should see entity files that have been changed. Boom. Okay, they have. So as you can see, we have the changed of the entity file, which you don't have to worry about. It's just generated automatically, which changes how the Pokemon is viewed in game. And then you can see the rest of the files we have changed. I don't know why this keeps showing up. I'm going to discard it again. But you can see these are all the files we have changed. And now let's go test it in game. So I'm going to go inside back into the world. And I should be able to ensure that that resource pack is valid and that behavior pack is valid. I'm going to go and play the game. Okay, so once we load into the world, we're going to go and check if our Pokemon actually worked. So we're going to search up our Pokemon we added, which should be this one. And we're going to spawn it in. And boom, as you can see, it worked perfectly. We have now can see our new Pokemon we have added. Ignore that, thing on its head. We're working on the behavior update. But there you go. You can see it now perfectly in game, and you can now check out how it looks, which looks super, super cool. So if I go time, set, day, switch back over to Minecraft, as you can see, it's looking really cool. There might be some animation issues with the jumps. That's just something you have to go tell the modeler about. But everything else, it looks really good, and this is something we would want to commit. So once we verify that the model looks correct, that everything looks perfect, we're going to go back into the GitHub desktop, and what we're going to do is create a new branch. So we're going to create a new branch, and we're going to say models slash add core. I'm going to mess this up so I'm not going to do it. So add Koreadon model. Okay. Models slash add Koreadon. You can put anything here. Oh, sorry, I did not change the screen. I'm going to show you again how to do that. So you're going to go here, you're going to go to new branch, and then you're going to do models slash add Koreadon. Okay. So this is going to add a new Koreadon model. Again, you can put anything here for the name, but I'm just going to put this specifically as it's a good, you know, that's how you should do it. And then I'm going to create a branch. Okay. So then in this screen, you're going to want to bring your changes to that new branch. This is very important. You need to bring your changes to that new branch. So that's going to switch you over to a new branch, okay? Then we're going to create a initial commit. So you're just going to write init, and then we're going to write, make sure everything looks good. You're going to walk through these. Everything looks good. Okay. That looks good. We're going to commit. Then we're going to publish the branch. And what that's going to do is it's going to publish the branch on the GitHub, which is not creating a pull request. As you can see, there is a new branch for add Koreadon, but there's not a new pull request. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to create a pull request, which is going to straight you to the GitHub. You're going to add something like add new Koreadon model. And obviously you don't need to... Okay. You can obviously add more models as you want to this pull request. You can add more models to this branch as you want, but make sure to keep it all in the same generation, or I mean, all in the same, like, you know, family. If you're adding a line of Pokemon, you'd want to put those all in one pull request. Then you're gonna say add new query model, adds blah 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 blah, whatever you want to add here. Say any description. Say, okay, made by whoever made it. You know, textures by blah 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 by, do all of that, add your description saying what's adding, and then you're going to go down, you're going to verify these files look correct. So as you can see, animation, it's just not going to render, it's fine. You're going to verify, you know, don't worry about that. You're going to verify these textures look good, model looks good, and then you're going to press create new pull request. And now we can see we have an open pull request inside the new Pokebedrock resource pack for our new Koreadon model. So now you can see it on my end, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through, I'm going to go and test that model. I'm going to switch that branch. I'm going to test that model in game. I'm going to see, okay, does it look correct? Does it have the right structures? Blah, blah, blah. Once I verify it looks good, I'm going to merge that pull request. Okay. So you guys won't be able to do that, but I'll be able to merge that pull request. And then once that happens, the next update that rolls around, your new model will be added into Pokebedrock. So that is pretty much it. And if you did enjoy this kind of video walking through how to add models to Pokebedrock, make sure to hit that subscribe button, make sure to hit that like. And obviously this is kind of an internal video for the modeling team, but I wanted to show you guys, everybody, if you guys did want to add your own models to the add-on. And there you go. So now we have the new Koreadon model inside Pokebedrock. You will need the Pokebedrock add-on behavior for this. Actually, you won't need it if you're playing on the server, but it's going to be kind of hard to test, so I'd recommend having the Pokebedrock add-on. But yeah, so now we have the model inside the world, and we are ready to go. So, alright. So if you did enjoy this video, I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.